Genius Strategist. Chapter 1. Inside a dark alley, a solitary young man sat hunched over a table littered with tools and circuit boards. His name was Arno Dorian, a brilliant engineer and strategist who had taken up residence in the labyrinthine depths of the underworld. Despite his youth, his face bore the weight of countless battles, his eyes reflecting the harsh realities of a war-torn world. Arno's current project lay abandoned on the table before him, a testament to his troubled past. A year ago, he had designed the most powerful mobile suit ever seen, the Black Murasame, capable of destroying entire fleets single-handedly. But torn by the destructive potential of his creation, he had crashed it, sealing it away in the heart of a junkyard. That very same junkyard where today, amidst the twisted metal and forgotten machines, Arno was coaxed out of his self-imposed exile by none other than the Earth Federation's top commander, the formidable Helena Rose. She had tracked him down, hoping to recruit him for one final mission, a desperate gambit to turn the tide of the ongoing war against the Principality of Zeon. As Arno listened to Helena's urgent plea, memories flooded back, bringing with them a storm of guilt and regret. The war had been raging for 3 long years, a brutal stalemate between the Earth Federation and the Principality of Zeon. Now the tide had turned against them, and the Earth Federation was on the brink of collapse. With their best ace pilots having fallen in battle, they had turned to Arno as their last resort. Hoping to harness the genius of the reclusive engineer to create a new Gundam, a machine that could turn the tide of war. But Arno, still haunted by the horrors of his past, refused. He knew the true cost of such a weapon and was determined to keep others from suffering the same fate. As Helena pressed her case, desperation evident in her voice, Arno remained steadfast, his resolve unwavering. For him, building another Gundam was not an option, not until he had made peace with the demons that haunted him. Helena, however, was not one to accept defeat easily. As she pressed on, appealing to his sense of duty and patriotism, Arno found himself torn. The image of his fallen comrades flashed before his eyes, fueling a growing sense of responsibility. Could he really stand by while his homeland teetered on the edge of destruction? The weight of his decision pressed heavily upon him. As the night wore on, Arno grappled with his inner turmoil, the fate of the world hanging in the balance. Meanwhile, deep within Zeon's headquarters, a charismatic leader known as Char Aznable addressed his troops. He had just received word of the Earth Federation's desperate ploy to build another Gundam. Amused by their futile attempt to turn the tide of war, he vowed to crush any new threat that dared stand against him. As his troops rallied, eager to defend their homeland, Char prepared to lead them into battle, confident that Zeon's superiority would prevail. The following morning, Arno awoke with a start. Sleep had done little to ease his troubled mind. The Earth Federation's fate now rested on his shoulders, and he knew he could not shirk his responsibility. With a heavy heart, he rose to the challenge, ready to confront the demons of his past and build the ultimate weapon to save his homeland. As Arno stepped into the dimly lit workshop, the weight of his decision from the previous evening pressed down on him. He had agreed to help the Earth Federation build a new Gundam, but the task seemed daunting. How could he possibly create a machine capable of rivaling the might of Zeon's mobile suits? His gaze fell on the abandoned prototype of the Black Murasame, its sleek black frame a reminder of both his genius and his torment. Could he adapt this machine, once intended for mass destruction, to become a beacon of hope for the Earth Federation? As Arno delved into his research, poring over schematics and technical data, he began to formulate a plan. He would take the core technology of the Black Murasame, stripping away its destructive capabilities and channeling that power into a new machine. It would be a delicate operation, fraught with danger, but the stakes were too high to ignore. He called upon his extensive network of contacts within the underworld, assembling a team of skilled engineers and technicians. Together they toiled day and night, driven by a shared sense of purpose. In the bustling city of Side 6, a colony orbiting Earth, a daring plan was underway. Under the cloak of secrecy, Arno and his team worked tirelessly to salvage parts from Zeon's fallen mobile suits, gathering the necessary components to construct the new Gundam. Each salvaged part was a testament to the relentless fighting spirit of the Principality of Zeon, a tribute to the fallen soldiers on both sides of the conflict. Yet these pieces of machinery now represented hope for the Earth Federation, a chance to turn the tide of war. As rumors of Zeon's impending attack reached Side 6, tension mounted. Arno and his team raced against time, striving to complete the Gundam's construction before the enemy arrived. Each passing moment brought them closer to their goal, yet also increased the peril of their endeavor. Under the watchful eyes of Arno's team, the Gundam began to take shape, its sleek lines and advanced weaponry promising unparalleled power. But as they neared completion, the risk of exposure loomed ever larger. Zeon's forces descended upon Side 6, turning the colony into a battleground. Amidst the chaos, Arno and his team fought to protect their creation, determined to ensure that the Gundam would be ready when it was needed most. With the colony under siege, Arno made the call to activate the newly completed Gundam. Its arrival on the battlefield sent a shockwave through both sides, marking a pivotal moment in the war. As the Gundam engaged Zeon's forces, its superior firepower and advanced technology proved decisive. Yet even in the face of overwhelming odds, Zeon's soldiers fought bravely, defending their homeland to the very end. Amidst the heat of battle, Arno watched with a mix of pride and trepidation. He had created a machine capable of great good, but also understood its destructive potential. It was a burden he would carry as the Gundam continued to fight, its presence a symbol of hope in a desperate battle for survival. Back at the base, Helena and her fellow commanders rallied the remaining Earth Federation forces. They analyzed the Gundam's performance, devising strategies to support its efforts and turn the tide of the battle. Their hopes for victory rested on the shoulders of this new machine and its pilot. As the battle raged on, the fate of Side 6 hung in the balance. With the Gundam's arrival, the scales had tipped, but the outcome remained uncertain. Would this be the turning point in the war, or would Zeon's forces prevail despite the odds? Only time would tell. Deep within the heart of Zeon's fleet, Char Aznable received reports of the Gundam's intervention at Side 6. Intrigued by the sudden appearance of this new threat, he prepared to investigate personally. Accompanied by his trusted comrades, he set out to the front lines, eager to assess the situation and strategize accordingly. Upon witnessing the Gundam's capabilities firsthand, Char's initial amusement turned to grudging respect. He recognized the potential threat this machine posed and wasted no time in formulating a response. Seizing control of the situation, Char issued orders to his fleet, directing them to engage the Gundam and prevent it from causing further havoc. The battle lines were redrawn, setting the stage for an epic confrontation between two powerful forces. As the Gundam continued to hold its ground against Zeon's forces, Arno and his team worked feverishly to make modifications and upgrades. They fine-tuned its weapon systems, enhancing its offensive capabilities and extended its range, allowing it to engage enemies from further distances. Each improvement brought the Gundam closer to its full potential, ensuring it would be a force to be reckoned with in the escalating conflict. Arno's modifications not only focused on raw firepower, but also incorporated advanced defensive measures. He implemented shielding systems to protect the Gundam from enemy attacks and fortified its armor, enhancing its resilience in the face of heavy firepower. With each passing moment, the Gundam became a fortress on the battlefield, capable of withstanding the might of Zeon's assault. But the true brilliance of Arno's modifications lay in the strategic enhancements he made to the Gundam's design. He integrated long-range sensors, enabling it to detect enemy forces from afar and provided it with advanced targeting systems, ensuring pinpoint accuracy in combat. These upgrades transformed the Gundam into a formidable hunter capable of striking with precision and overwhelming force. And finally, Arno focused on the Gundam's mobility, enhancing its speed and agility to allow it to maneuver swiftly and effectively on the battlefield. He incorporated jet boosters, enabling it to achieve remarkable speeds and perform daring aerial maneuvers, leaving its opponents bewildered and vulnerable. With these strategic enhancements, the Gundam was no longer just a powerful weapon, but a force multiplier on the battlefield, capable of turning the tide of war. As the battle for Side 6 intensified, Arno and his team stood ready to deploy the fully upgraded Gundam. They watched with bated breath as it entered the fray, its enhanced capabilities on full display. The sight of this new and improved machine sent a wave of excitement and anticipation through the ranks of the Earth Federation. At last, they had the weapon they needed to fight back against Zeon's relentless assault. With renewed vigor, the Earth Federation forces rallied behind the Gundam, inspired by its strength and unwavering presence. The battle lines shifted, offering a glimmer of hope in the darkest hour. As Zeon's forces regrouped to counter the Gundam's new capabilities, Char Aznable devised a cunning plan. He ordered a tactical retreat, luring the Gundam away from its base and into a trap. With Side 6 secured, the Earth Federation forces pursued, eager to deliver a decisive blow to Zeon's forces. Little did they know they were walking into a carefully laid ambush. Char's strategy was twofold. Not only did he intend to neutralize the Gundam, but also capture it for analysis, eager to understand the technology that had proven so formidable. As the Earth Federation forces closed in, Zeon's hidden units emerged from their concealed positions, opening fire with full force. Caught off guard, the Earth Federation found themselves in a desperate struggle to survive. The tables had turned, casting doubt on their ability to match Zeon's cunning tactics. Within the cockpit of the Gundam, Arno's quick thinking proved crucial. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, he formulated a plan. Using the Gundam's advanced sensors, he detected a break in the enemy lines and seized the opportunity to lead a daring charge. With the Gundam at the forefront, the Earth Federation forces pushed forward, breaking through Zeon's defenses and reaching the beleaguered civilians. Their bravery did not go unnoticed. As the Gundam rescued the civilians, Arno's reputation as a brilliant strategist grew. Hope rekindled. The Earth Federation's spirits soared, rejuvenated by the Gundam's heroic intervention. Yet the battle was far from over. Zeon's forces, regrouped, determined to reclaim their lost ground and capture the Gundam at all costs. A fierce battle ensued, testing the limits of the Gundam's capabilities and pushing Arno's strategic prowess to the brink. As the dust settled on the battle for Side 6, the Earth Federation forces emerged victorious. The combined efforts of Arno's brilliant strategies and the Gundam's advanced capabilities had proven decisive in securing their triumph. With Zeon's forces scattered and their morale broken, the tide of the war began to shift. The Earth Federation, bolstered by their newfound hope, prepared for the next phase of the conflict, confident that Arno and the Gundam would lead them to ultimate victory. Yet in the shadows, Char Aznable watched, his mind already plotting his next move. The war was far from over, and he had plans of his own to turn the tables once again. Amidst the celebration of their victory at Side 6, Arno and his team returned to their secret base, eager to regroup and strategize for the coming challenges. As they surveyed the damage to the Gundam, it became evident that repairs were in order. The fierce battle had taken its toll on the advanced machine, revealing vulnerabilities that needed addressing. With meticulous precision, Arno and his team got to work, analyzing the battle data and identifying areas for improvement. They scrutinized every component, examining the stress points and wear and tear caused by the intense combat. Their goal was clear: enhance the Gundam's durability, and fortify its defenses against future adversaries. As the repair work commenced, Arno delved into the technical data, seeking to optimize the Gundam's performance. He explored ways to increase its firepower, improve its maneuverability, and enhance its overall efficiency on the battlefield. Each modification aimed to refine the Gundam, turning it into an even more formidable force. While the repairs were underway, Arno and his team took the opportunity to gather intelligence on their next potential targets. They studied Zeon's movements, anticipating their next strategic move and planning accordingly. It was a race against time, as they needed to be prepared for whatever Zeon had in store. Days turned into weeks as the team worked tirelessly to complete the upgrades to the Gundam. The atmosphere in the base was one of intense focus and determination. Every member of the team was committed to ensuring the Gundam would be ready to face any challenge. As the final touches were made, the repaired and upgraded Gundam stood ready, its sleek frame gleaming with newfound strength. The team's hard work and dedication had paid off, transforming the Gundam into a beacon of hope and power for the Earth Federation. With the Gundam poised and ready for action, Arno and his team prepared for deployment. They knew that their next mission would bring them face to face with Zeon once again, and the stakes were higher than ever. As the Gundam touched down on the battle-scarred Earth, it was met with scenes of devastation and despair. The human cost of the war was evident, serving as a grim reminder of the urgency of their mission. Arno, resolute in the face of adversity, rallied the remaining Earth Federation forces, inspiring them to fight for a better future. His leadership and strategic brilliance offered a glimmer of hope in the darkest of times. With the Gundam at the helm, the Earth Federation launched a counter-offensive, driving back Zeon's forces and liberating key strategic points. Each victory brought renewed hope to the war-weary populace, reminding them that even in the darkest of times, hope could endure. Yet Char Aznable remained a looming threat. He adapted his strategies, exploiting the Earth Federation's advances and launching surprise attacks that caught them off guard. The war had entered a new phase, marked by cunning tactics and relentless determination on both sides. As the war raged on, Arno and his team continued to innovate, developing new technologies and strategies to keep the Earth Federation in the fight. They pushed the boundaries of what was possible, determined to outmaneuver and outthink their adversary. Through it all, the bond between Arno and the Gundam grew, their fates intertwined in a dance of strategy and combat. However, the constant strain of war took a toll on Arno. Haunted by the memories of those lost and the destruction that surrounded him, he grappled with the ethical dilemmas of his creations. The burden of being a strategic genius and the haunting consequences of his actions weighed heavily on his shoulders. As the war reached a fever pitch, Arno found himself at a crossroads. Torn between his brilliance and the human cost of conflict, he questioned the very purpose of his genius. And so we come to the end of Chapter 1, a tale of strategy, innovation, and the burden of brilliance in a world consumed by war. Stay tuned for Chapter 2, where the fate of the Earth Federation hangs in the balance, and Arno must navigate the treacherous waters of war, ethics, and self-discovery. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we invite you to leave your thoughts and feedback below. Until next time, may your strategies be as brilliant and your creations as enduring as the legendary Black Murasami.